Preface. The aim is the truth. This book is the result of a protracted struggle to establish the truth of Srila Prabhupada's 1977 departure pastimes. As such, we begin by a meditation on the subject of truth. This book is dedicated to His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, and the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur on Truth. 1. A chanter of the Kirtan of Hari is necessarily the uncompromising enemy of worldliness and hypocrisy. As chanter of the Kirtan of Hari, it is the constant function to dispel all misconceptions by the preaching of the truth in the most unambiguous form, without any respect of person, place, or time. That form is to be adopted which is least likely to be misunderstood. It is his bounden duty to oppose, clearly and frankly, any person who tries to deceive and harm himself and other people by misrepresenting the truth due to malice or bona fide misunderstanding. This will be possible if the chanter of Kirtan is always prepared to submit to be trodden by thoughtless people, if any discomfort to himself will enable him to do good to his persecutors by chanting the truth in the most unambiguous manner. If he is unwilling or afraid of considerations of self-respect or personal discomfort to chant the Kirtan, under all circumstances, he is unfit to be a preacher of the absolute truth. Humility implies perfect submission to the truth, and no sympathy for untruth. A person who entertains any partiality for untruth is unfit to chant the Kirtan of Hari. Any clinging to untruth is opposed to the principle of humility, born of absolute submission to the truth. Those who serve the truth at all time, by means of all their faculties, and have no hankering for the trivialities of this world, are always necessarily free from malice, born of competing worldliness, and are, therefore, fit to admonish those who are actively engaged in harming themselves and others by the method of opposing or misrepresenting the truth, in order to attain rewards of such policy in the shape of a perpetuation of the state of misery and ignorance. The method which is employed by the servant of the good preceptor for preventing such misrepresentation of the truth is a part and parcel of the truth itself. It may not always be pleasing to the diseased susceptibilities of deluded minds, and may even be denounced by them as a malicious act with which they are only too familiar. But the words of truth from the lips of a loyal and humble servant of Hari possess such beneficent power that all effort to suppress or obstruct them only serves to vindicate to impartial minds the necessity of complete submission to the absolute truth as the only cure of the disease of worldliness. Humility that is employed in the unambiguous service of the truth is necessarily and qualitatively different from its perverted prototype, which is practiced by the cunning people of this world for gaining their worldly ends. The professors of pseudo-humility have reason to be afraid of the preachings of the servants of Hari, one of whose duties is to expose the enormous possibility of mischief that is possessed by the forms of so-called spiritual conduct when they are taken to task for serving the untruth. Great favor, the harmonist. 2. The aggressive pronouncement of the concrete truth is the crying necessity of the moment for silencing the aggressive propaganda of specific untruths that is being carried on all over the world. Harmonist, December 1931. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur on the truth. 1. One should compulsorily engage in endeavoring to trying to uplift the Vaishnava Dharma from the mud of contamination, and trying to free it from all kinds of Dauratmya, wrong ideas and practices. Beka Dharana, Sarjana Tosani. 2. When the disciple prayerfully inquires from the spiritual master about the identity of true Vaishnavas, the Guru may point out persons who are dressed as Vaishnavas, but are not following the Vaishnava principles, sadachara, and name them as Vaishnavas. This action, on the part of the Guru, is for the benefit of the disciple, because, if the disciple unknowingly associates with these pretenders, then his spiritual life is ruined, and, for the benefit of the whole world, when the pretenders are identified, the sanctity of the pure Vaishnava Dharma is protected in the world. The bona fide Guru does not do so because of envy or malice towards any individual, but he acts for the benefit of everyone. Thus it is not sadhu ninda, criticism of devotees, or Vaishnava aparad, offense to devotees, to instruct others to reject the association of those pretenders who have taken shelter of the exalted position of Vaishnavas, but are engaged in performing activities against the Vedic scriptures. Vaishnava Ninda, Sarjana Tosani. 3. Slowly darkened, being covered by thick clouds of sensual enjoyment and false renunciation. The heavens were obscured, and the world was deprived of the rays of light of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan. One by one, the sun, moon, and unlimited stars of that sky faded from view, leaving only the occasional flash of lightning to disrupt the unending pall of ignorance. Jiva Dharma, quotes from Srila Prabhupada. 1. Hridayananda. Sometimes, Prabhupada, when we expose them, their argument is, "Oh, you are a saintly person. Why are you criticizing me?" Prabhupada, SP. No, it is not criticizing, it is opening your eyes. You are blind, you are thinking yourself as very big, so, we are opening eyes. You are not big, you are not even pig, or fig, that is, Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya. You are blind, with ignorance, so, we are trying to open your eyes, see things as they are. It is favoring you, it is not criticizing you. SP Conversation February 6, 1976. 2. SP. So this is Satvam Jayati. What is this nonsense? Expose them. Bluffing. The bluffing should be exposed. SP Conversation May 4, 1973. 3. We must, therefore, save ourselves and our fellow man in the right way. There is no question of liking or disliking the truth. It is there. If we want to be saved from repeated birth and death, we must take to the devotional service of the Lord. There can be no compromise, for this is a matter of necessity. Isopanisad 14. Purport. 4. We are not proud of this. However, the truth must be explained. CC. RD. 7. 95. Purport. 5. No one should resent the incisive words of a preacher. They should appreciate his straightforwardness and beneficial instructions. As Chanakya Pandita says, he who speaks out plainly cannot be a deceiver. Niti Shastra 5. 5. Srila Prabhupada. 6. Srimad Bhagavatam 1. 17. 25. Translation. You, Dharma, are now standing on one leg only, which is your truthfulness, and you are somehow or other hobbling along, but quarrel personified, Kali, flourishing by deceit, is also trying to destroy that leg. Purport. The principles of religion do not stand on some dogmas or man-made formulas, but they stand on 4 primary regulative observances, namely, austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. The mass of people must be taught to practice these principles. From childhood, this peace of mind was complete in the Satya age because of the existence of the above-mentioned attributes of the human beings. Gradually, these attributes have diminished in the Treta Yuga to 3/4, in the Dwapara to half, and, in this age of Kali, to 1/4, which is also gradually diminishing on account of prevailing untruthfulness by pride, either artificial or real. The resultant action of austerity, is spoiled by too much affection for female association. Cleanliness is spoiled by too much addiction to intoxication. Mercy is spoiled and by too much lying propaganda. Truthfulness is spoiled. The revival of Bhagavata Dharma can save human civilization from falling prey to all types of evil. Quotes from elsewhere. 1. Facts are stubborn things, and, whatever may be our wishes, our inclinations, or the dictates of our passion, they cannot alter the state of facts and evidence. John Adams. 3. Facts are peculiar things. They come together over time and will prove what they will prove, and facts are, ultimately, immune to opinions and the people who hold them. Unknown. 4. During times of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. George Orwell. 5. A good journalist should present uncomfortable facts, question orthodoxies, highlight suppressed views. Unknown. 6. Everyone, without exception, has found some things to not believe in, things that are demonstrably true, that we just don't want to accept. A bit like a fingerprint. Each person's pattern of disbelief is probably unique. You might believe that water is made of atoms, but that the moon is made of cheese. It's hard to predict, but the interesting question is, what has to happen for you to change your mind? What standard of proof, from what source, is sufficient for us to accept that something was sure, wasn't true, is true? That's a great place to begin. Seth Godin. 7. Facts are stubborn things, but statistics are pliable. Mark Twain. 8. Facts are facts, and will not disappear on account of your likes. Jawaharlal Nehru. 9. Now, what I want is facts. Teach these boys and girls nothing but facts. Facts alone are wanted in life. Plant nothing else, and root out everything else. You can only form the minds of reasoning animals upon facts. Nothing else will ever be of any service to them. Charles Dickens. Hard Times. 10. The Internet's truth-telling has changed the Vaishnava world, and, despite negative impact from facilitating false propaganda, it has allowed sincere persons to determine the truth in all transcendental topics by having easy access to search tools, databases, discussion groups, and faraway senior devotees. One may thus ascertain the real Siddhanta of Srila Prabhupada's teachings, then take determined actions to secure their Krishna consciousness. Nityananda Das.